Well, thanks for visiting us here at KTALnews.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Morses with your Monday morning weather update. We did have some powerful thunderstorms roll through overnight. Thankfully, those storms weakened quickly as they moved out of Texas, so we didn't see a lot of wind damage in Louisiana and Arkansas, but we did have some damaging storms there in East Texas and some heavy rain. And speaking of rain, a few of you will wake up to some light rain showers this morning. Those should scoot by fairly quickly. We'll be on the drier side of a front today, so I'm thinking this afternoon we'll likely just see partly cloudy weather. Can't rule out maybe just a spotty shower later today, but it does appear that we're going to dry out today. We're not going to stay dry for too long. We have some very active weather again this week, so by the probably tomorrow and Wednesday we'll really begin to see an uptick in the showers and thunderstorms once again. But we had a very dangerous storm system kind of move through early in the morning hours here. Did bring some damaging wind across East Texas here, and you can see the number of power outages, especially over here in northeast Texas. We have thousands of customers without power, and you can see those power outages kind of go down as the storms moved into Louisiana and Arkansas. Fortunately, didn't see a lot of wind damage in those areas, and also some heavy rainfall. This is the last 2 days there. Of course, we had some storms Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then the widespread round of storms early this morning as well. So over the last 2 days or so, anywhere from Marshall up through Mount Pleasant, we've had about 4 to 8 inches of rain. So there may be some high water on some of the roads here. All the flash flood warnings have been canceled, as has the severe thunderstorm watch as of early this morning. Even up into Arkansas, especially with the storms there Saturday night, we saw about 4 to 6 inches of rain as well. So a lot of this water will wind up in our lakes and rivers, which will stay below flood stage this week, but that's the situation with more rain on the way in the upcoming days that we'll have to continue to watch here. So we have cooled into the 60s and low 70s. The humidity was just brutal last week, and over the weekend we've dropped the humidity just a touch here, which will feel a little better today, especially with some of that dry air taking over. And highs basically mid to upper 80s across the northern Arklatex, and a few areas may reach the low 90s there south of Interstate 20. Average high is 90 degrees this time of the year, so we're pretty close to average here. And as far as today's severe weather threat, we have another update coming out later this morning. I would not be surprised if we're dropped from the severe weather outlook altogether here. I think this outlook this morning just kind of takes into account some of the early day storms here, which will be moving by the time most of you see the video here. So we can't rule out maybe just some high wind with a few of the storms there, but again, after about 8 a.m. or so, the chance of any severe storms goes way down for us, and flooding an issue we'll have to watch through the middle of the week. So let me give you a look here. Your Robbins Toyota Futurecast will just take you through the rest of the day today. It does show the clouds just kind of hanging on through the morning here, but once we feel that dry air take over, it should break up the cloud cover a bit, and you can see partly cloudy conditions this afternoon. Some of the forecast models here continue to show just some spotty showers popping up, including this model right here, so that's why I've included at least that slight chance of rain a little later today. And area of low pressure going to move out of the southwest and set up shop here in Texas, so that front that's going to be south of us today will return as a warm front by the middle of the week here. So by Wednesday we'll really begin to see some of those more widespread showers and thunderstorms here. We're really not in the severe weather outlook Tuesday and Wednesday here. This time of the year we just have to watch out for some wind with a few of the storms, but it does appear the overall severe weather threat is going to be a little lower this week compared to some of the wind that we saw last week. But again, each one of these rounds of storms could bring at least some low end potential, maybe for some heavy rain and high wind. And by the time we get to the weekend, looks like we'll start to get on the drier side of things, but I'm keeping that chance of rain going through the weekend as well. And Futurecast here, the Weather Prediction Center is showing a good 2 to 4 inches of rain through the rest of the week here. Some of those totals could be underdone, just depending on where the heavier rain kind of sets up this week. But again, when we see the heaviest rain here in the northwest corner of the Arklatex, a lot of that water makes its way into the Red River, even if there's heavy rain outside of the region here. So we'll have to keep an eye on the lakes and rivers, which will slowly rise this week, but again remain just below flood stage here. And you can see the temperatures likely close to 90 each day, upper 80s, low 90s. Just depends on how early in the day that you see the rain pick up here. But the chance of rain really shoots up by Wednesday and stays pretty high through at least Saturday. But again, late in the weekend, may see this pattern begin to dissipate somewhat. Overnight lows will be in the 70s throughout the week.